Living with the sacrifice we made, running in circles. We never had time to live at all. Run my soul. Living with the sacrifice we made, running in circles. We never had time to live at all. Run my soul. Run my soul. Time to live Oh, my goodness. What a day, man. What a day. Had to sit through a doubleheader today, man. Mets and Braves in the playoffs. Gave me a little bit of a heart attack early this afternoon, but we made it. We're in. Not that it really matters anyway, because we're probably going to get swept. And we have last monster standing. Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed. Two large individuals destroying shit on Monday night. I mean, who doesn't like that? Seth Rollins is back. That's good news. But Ilya Dragunov, that's bad news. We'll talk about that tonight as well. Sammy gets his match with Gunther. Braun Breaker turns babyface. Miz turns on R-Truth. Xavier don't know what the hell he's doing. And we have Bad Blood this Saturday in Atlanta. And it's going to be hell for CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're drinking inside the OTS venue downstairs inside my mother's basement. Drinks are cold. Ice cold. Come on down. Jesse's serving them up. And we'll talk some pro wrestling tonight on this Monday night. And when I walk through those doors, I want to know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there. Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking. What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your Monday Night Raw post show for September 30th, 2024. I am your host, JD from New York. As always, coming to you live from the OTS venue inside my mother's basement. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on your Monday evenings, wherever you may be. And oh my goodness, my guy walks into the bar dressed all dapper, throws a $100 super chat down at the bar. He orders whiskey for everybody. My guy David Thiering with a bomb tonight before we even open the doors. What's going on, JD and OTS family? Let's get the party rolling and bring this fantastic month of September here at the venue to a close with a bang. Looking forward to Bad Blood, especially the Punk versus McIntyre match, which I am expecting an absolute war. OTS for life. That's what I like to see, David. Thank you so very much for being here, brother, as always. And thank you to everybody on YouTube for joining us on this Monday night. Thank you to my Twitch family who are watching live over on the Purple Snake. Thank you guys very much over there. Tonight, it's the end of an era, man. Tonight is the end of an era. I think we're going to get another holy shit chant here, man. The end of an era, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight was the last, for now, the last ever Monday Night Raw at 3 hours. Now, it's not going to last forever. Monday night may be going back to 3 hours when they hit Netflix. We don't really know. But tonight, Monday Night Raw ended their 3-hour broadcast, and they will operate as a 2-hour show next week on the USA Network. End of an era. Next week, man, it's going to feel very weird coming on here at 10:20 instead of 11:20. A whole hour earlier, man. Oh, man, what are we going to do with ourselves, man? We got all night. It's going to be great. I can't wait. I can't wait. Yes, fixes a bind. I like that a lot better, man. End of an error. Yes, it's been an error ever since they fucking did it, man. Oh, my God. I can't wait, man. 2 hours of Monday Night Raw. That is something I've been asking for a very, very long time. But the thing is, ever since Vince went away, ever since Triple H took over, Monday Night Raw has been under reconstruction. Monday Night Raw has... Obviously, if you guys watched the show, if you guys knew what was going on back in the day leading up to where we are right now, you will have known because we all watched it together. It's basically how I built my channel. Monday Night Raw was a complete disaster. They weren't doing anything right. They were booking for one guy, and that one guy now is no longer there. Half of that team, the two-man power trip, the two-headed snake. I guess you could call it a three-headed snake because Kevin Dunn's not there either. But Bruce Pritchard still remains. So we got one head of the snake still standing. And I don't really think he's much of an influence anyway. I think he's just there because I think Vince still has his fingerprints in on some things, and some things cannot be changed, no matter how much you want to change them. But you know what the show was. It was deplorable. It was embarrassing. It was downright the worst 3 hours of your entire week. And I couldn't take it no more. At one point, man, I was about to just quit watching Monday Night Raw live. That's how bad it got. And then, obviously, we see where we are right now. Triple H has taken over. He has done a miracle. He's worked whatever magic he learned to navigate a 3-hour Monday Night Raw and legitimately make it the best show, the best pro wrestling show that you get all week. And I'm talking out of everything we get: NXT, AEW Dynamite, TNA Impact, Friday Night SmackDown. Monday Night Raw remained the best weekly television show for a good chunk of 2024. Triple H and his team deserve a lot of credit for taking what was an absolute fucking disaster and changing it to give it a special feeling every Monday night. It's still not where it needs to be. But moving it from 3 hours to 2 hours is definitely going to enhance the quality of the show. Absolutely no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Tonight it was all about Last Monster Standing. Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed. WWE's done a fantastic job of building these two guys up to get to this point. WWE's done a fantastic job of giving Bronson Reed something to do in the time that Seth Rollins has been out with injury. That's all that this was about. How do we take Bronson Reed from what he did against Seth Rollins 2 months ago and play it out until Rollins gets back? Absolutely masterful booking. Bronson Reed, you just get a sense that this is a different Bronson Reed. This is not the Bronson Reed that came back after a second stint when he got fired and then rehired. This is not the same Bronson Reed that was in his first run, in his first go-around in WWE. This is a different Bronson Reed. This is a legit monster looking to feast on everybody. And that's exactly how they've been booking him. Braun Strowman, R-Truth, The Miz, Seth Rollins, getting into the face of Adam Pearce, which again he did tonight. I thought that was going to be a whole different storyline there. I thought we may have been getting a trade from Bronson Reed moving off Monday night to Friday night. Now he's Nick Aldis' problem. But they have booked him perfectly. Braun Strowman. I'm not the biggest Braun Strowman guy. And WWE has played Braun Strowman to his strengths. If you guys watch tonight, Braun Strowman is not in a good way. His knees are fucking gone. They are gone like the Arizona Diamondbacks at the end of today's baseball festivities. Gone. I don't know what's going on with Braun Strowman's knees. Guy can't run. Guy can't climb the top turnbuckle. Guy can barely fucking walk. I don't know what they're doing with him. But as far as the creative is concerned, they've booked him to his strengths, whatever is left of his strengths, and he's killed it. He's playing the role that he's supposed to play, and he's putting Bronson Reed into a program that has captivated Monday night and been one of the best things about the entire show the last 3 or 4 weeks. Got to give both guys their credit. Great stuff. Tonight was a Last Monster Standing match. I don't know how anybody could watch this show and not feel good about watching two guys who equal almost 800 pounds destroying the ringside area, destroying tables, destroying barricades, destroying crowd, front row. They landed in front of the front row barricade, speared through the barricade and landed in the front row. Plants. They went around the stage. They broke some production stuff. The ring collapsed. Braun Strowman goes off the top rope and takes everybody out with a 400-pound crossbody dive. We get a little tease about Bronson Reed putting his hands on Adam Pearce. Seth Rollins is back. He costs Bronson Reed, the match. It's good stuff. Really good stuff. I thought what they did was excellent in the main event. Bronson Reed did not win, though. Bronson Reed did not win. I will tell you why Bronson Reed did not win. Braun Strowman ended up being the last monster standing, and Bronson Reed is going to have his date with Seth Rollins soon enough. And when that happens, Bronson Reed is going to go on to be the monster that he should be on Monday night. Braun Strowman might have won the battle, but Bronson Reed is certainly going to win the war of the monsters. We'll talk about how I think that's going to play out for him a little bit later on in the show. Major plans, in my opinion, should be had for Bronson Reed. Jey Uso. Tonight was the first night that he walked onto Monday Night Raw, the new Intercontinental Champion. Not much was said. I think Jey Uso really just wanted to live in the moment. He didn't really say anything uber important. But the most important takeaway from the opening segment where Jey Uso was celebrating with everybody in Evansville, Indiana, he's got a brand new Intercontinental Championship. Nice little dash of blue has now made its way on the IC title. I love it. I love when the globes on the title are blue. They made everything gold. Jey Uso walks out with a new Intercontinental title. The center globe in the center of the title is now blue. The globes that are on the side plates, they are now blue. Love it. Nothing was drastically changed about the title, just a little color on there. Goes a long way. Comes out with a new title. And then Braun Breaker comes out. And everybody was like, oh, Braun Breaker, Jay, he's buried. Like they buried your fucking brain somewhere. Never mind Braun Breaker being buried. Who's buried? Guy's gonna win fucking more championships than you have fucking brain cells buried. Fuck are you talking about, you fucking idiot? Man, social media, man, you guys are fucking crazy on there, man. I don't really understand it. But after all the buried talk, clearly, the new direction for Braun Breaker is babyface. I didn't expect it. I didn't really ask for it right now. I mean, it's there. But that's what we're getting. Braun Breaker came out and addressed Jey Uso, congratulated Jey Uso, shook Jey Uso's hand, and walked away. Jey Uso even acknowledged Braun Breaker. Oos! There are a lot of dogs in Indiana. Great. It's fantastic. There's a lot of dogs everywhere. Everybody loves Braun Breaker. But now he's a babyface. And they are already planting seeds for what they are going to do with Braun Breaker moving forward, which makes all of the narrative and all of the fucking idiots on social media who use the word buried and Braun Breaker in the same sentence look like a bunch of fools. Braun Breaker is nowhere near buried. Jey Uso will have that IC title for however long he has it, and I do think that he will drop it to one man in particular, who I already just mentioned. Piece it together. We'll talk about that a little bit later. CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. There's nothing else that needs to be done. They actually constructed the Hell in the Cell tonight. It came down and lowered. And we had both men cut a promo inside the structure with a ton of security guards and Adam Pearce moderating a face-to-face with Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. And you want the visual of what they're going to look like before the show? There you go. Love it. Dominic even came face-to-face with his shark cage tonight. Miz turned on R-Truth. Karrion Kross cuts a fantastic promo that was released on WWE.com as an exclusive Don't know where they're going with Cross, but certainly looks like they're building Cross up again to be a major player. And Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, man, who really is going heel? I don't know. I thought it was Xavier Woods. I'm kind of feeling a little bit different about that tonight after watching Monday Night Raw. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a lot to talk about tonight. It's going to be a great show. This is the last day of September. This is the last night. Monday Night Raw is 3 hours. And this is the last stream for the month of September here on Off the Script. Let's throw a big party, man. I want to see the energy. Braves are in the playoffs. The Mets are in the playoffs. I want to see you guys celebrate. I want to see you guys excited. I want to see you guys give the energy that we need to close out the month of September, man. Love it. Congratulations to the Mets. If the Braves got swept in this doubleheader, I was certainly going with the Mets to possibly take down the Philadelphia Phillies. That's all I care about. If the Braves don't do it, the Mets don't do it, whoever takes out the Phillies are my team going into the World Series. Can't stand the fucking Phillies. And if the Braves didn't make it and the Mets did, along with the Diamondbacks, I was going to go with the Mets anyway because my grandma loves the Mets, and I want my grandma to be happy. Plain and simple. You know who was happy? Jesse was happy last night, man. What a fucking stream we had, man. I was a busy guy yesterday. I didn't want to get out of bed today. Got to the HOG Arena last night. Well, yesterday afternoon, 3 p.m., 3:30. Had to do commentary. Show started at about 6:15. We were doing our Joe Hendry show, Believe in the Glory. Great show. Joe Hendry is a special guy, man. Great talent. He wrestled Joey Nutella. Who? Oh, Janela. Okay. Janela. Okay. Does anybody, can someone give me a memo as to why he's upset with me? No, you don't got a reason? Okay. Nobody knows. Nobody knows why he wants to kick my ass. When we find out, you gotta let me know, okay? It might be because we make more money on this channel than he does as a pro wrestler. I might be in the ballpark there, man. I might be in the ballpark there. Maybe. Yes, he did wrestle Joey Janela. It was a very good match. I thought it was a great show last night. So I didn't get out of the show until 10:30. And I got home about that time, right? And then I sit with Jesse and my guy, Ross. Kicking it with Ross. And we had a 3.5-hour live stream talking about the Vince McMahon documentary on Netflix, Mr. McMahon. It's a great discussion, man. Should have been. I had fucking 6 episodes worth of notes. Should have been good. And I didn't even get through most of them. But we did a great job last night. If you guys want to go watch that, I see Jesse's in the chat. Jesse, why don't you link that video in the live stream chat so I can pin it at the top of the live stream, man. So shout out to Ross. Ross is a gem. Not the last time we're going to be working together for sure. And then go check out Jesse's video. Got some great feedback. He got a great response. Jesse gained quite a bit of subs over there. So good for him. Had a good time. Happy to be part of it. Deviate. Oh, man, Deviate. Deviate. If you guys saw on social media, man, they're cooking. They are cooking. We got 3 new Dark Horse integrations coming, man, with a full-blown outro completely redone. You guys only saw a teaser of it today on Twitter, man. DV8 is the legit best in the fucking game, bro. Best. If you thought the podcast looked good now, oh man, they're not even done yet. We got another thing coming at the end of the year, man. It's going to be fucking great. Unbelievable. Thank you guys very much, man. Leveling up. Love to see it. Look forward to that, man. Hopefully, I'm thinking around Halloween for the new outro. Hit that thumbs up. I'd love to see 1,000 likes, man. We got 2,200 people in here on a Monday night. I'd love to see 1,000 likes minimum. There's no excuses there. No excuses, bro. If you enjoy what you see here, if you like the stream, like the stream. Super chats are open, man. I want to see you guys party tonight. Get your super chats and we'll hang out. Let me know what you're thinking about Bad Blood. Let me know what you think about tonight's Raw. Let me know what you thought of the stream yesterday if you were in the live stream chat with me, Jesse, and Ross. Go check out all the other content on the channel, man. Going to be a busy week. No Tuesday Night Titans tomorrow. Jason and I have decided to take the week off. Why? Because we're both covering NXT on the CW network. Yes, you heard that correct. JD from New York is covering NXT tomorrow night. Oh my goodness, man. The world has come to an end. We'll see what's changed about this NXT, which supposedly is going to TV 14 on the CW. Oh boy. I can only imagine with the returning Nikita Lyons and a Lola Vice what TV 14 looks like, man. I'm there. Sign me up. So I'll be live tomorrow night. 10:05, 10:10. We'll go live on Off the Script with the official live stream post-show review of NXT on the CW. The debut. Live from Chicago, CM Punk will be in the house. He's refereeing the Ethan Page and Trick Williams NXT World Title match. Jesse says, remember when we covered it every week? Yes, that's when it was actually still good. I think I was the only one actually covering NXT at the time. And you know what? I got made fun of for covering it because everybody was like, oh, that's a niche audience. That's never going to be mainstream. Now look at it. Not only is the main roster being booked like NXT was back in the day, NXT is now bigger than it was then. Gee, man. Yet another thing I was right about. Oh, gee golly. Color me shocked. No Tuesday Night Titans. We'll have NXT tomorrow night. Jesse and I will be back on Wednesday. Apparently, they just booked Bryan Danielson versus Kazuchika Okada for the AEW World Championship on the 5-year anniversary of Dynamite Wednesday. If this wasn't Bryan's retirement tour, I would be screaming, why? But Bryan wants what he wants. This is his last full month before he drops the title to Jon Moxley. They're going to give him whatever he wants. Tuesday Night Titans will return next week on Thursday. Or Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday. Wednesday. I gotta see what Jason wants. Maybe Wednesday. Wednesday Night Titans. Only time this year, man. Wednesday Night Titans. And make sure you guys check out my sponsor for tonight's show, man. BlueChew. BlueChew.com, as always, sponsoring tonight's live stream right here on OTS. Monday Night Raw. Start at the top over here. Jey Uso. He came out celebrating his Intercontinental Championship victory last week over Braun Breaker. This really wasn't much of a promo for Yeet Man. But Jey Uso, man, he knows how to celebrate. They let his theme music play for quite a while. And everybody was yeeting and throwing their hands in the air and dancing along. And You just genuinely feel happy. You see his happiness. And then you genuinely feel happy for him. So it looks like WWE rewarded Jey Uso with the Intercontinental Championship, and he's going to have it for at least a little bit. I thought that they were going to give him the title, drop it back to Breaker in about a month or so, maybe less than that. Doesn't look like that's the direction in which they are going. I could be wrong. But after tonight's promo, I don't think Braun Breaker wants anything to do with the IC title. It's all in what he said. So they went to the concourse. Jey Uso is there with his own son. He walked out through the concourse with his own son. He made his way to the ring to celebrate. Joe Tessitore and Wade Barrett talked about 14 years on the main roster without a singles title for Jey Uso. Barrett said Jey shook up the entire industry by shaking his singles championship curse. Jey made it to the ring, stood on the ropes, held the belt up, pyro went off. This was a big celebration for him. Sure, his father is very happy. At least another week in which Rikishi should not complain. He noted his son being there for the first time, celebrating his first singles celebration. He said he loved and appreciated the fans. He said his family made it tough on him, though. He said fans knew of him for a long time, but didn't know him. He was just a twin. But now they know him. He got emotional. He took his sunglasses off, talked about speaking to his mother, and told him, or she told him rather before the match, go out there and show them who you are. Go out there and get it. He recalled what his mother told him last week before he wrestled Braun Breaker for the title. He then said, Mama, we did it. Yeet. He did do it. He beat Braun Breaker, who all of a sudden comes on out. Braun Breaker's music played. He walks out. He entered the ring and said, he wasn't there to crash the party or spoil the fun. He said the title means a lot to him. He said the lineage goes a long way back. He said after battling it out with him last week, he's got the same respect for him now as well. He said the right superstar who deserved it should walk out with the title, and on that night, you were the better man. He told Jey he wasn't going to spear him or attack him. He said he thought he should be the first one to come out as a competitor and a colleague and offer his congratulations. He extended his hand to Jey Uso for a handshake. Jey looked very suspicious, obviously. He then shook his hand, and Braun Breaker legitimately began to leave the ring. Jey Uso said, hey, Braun, there's some dogs in Indiana, Oos. And everybody starts barking in Indiana. He smiled, and he left the ring. That's all that this was. This did two things. One, WWE put their stamp of approval on Jey Uso as the Intercontinental Champion. That is their guy now. I know a lot of people are still asking the question, well, why did you take the title of Braun Breaker? You put it on him at SummerSlam. He didn't really do much with the championship. Why did you take it off of him to put it on Jey Uso? What does that do to Braun Breaker? Well, it moves Braun Breaker onto bigger and better things. That's what it does. Jey Uso has had 14 years without a singles championship. Jey Uso has gotten himself majorly over on the main roster with one fucking word and a theme song in which Def Rebel should be lucky they constructed and put together. That makes his entire presentation. Those two things. Where Jey is lacking in the ring, he certainly more than makes up for it with charisma, attitude, likability, genuineness, the theme music, yeet, and the crowd participation reaction when he comes out. The guy basically has everything that a lot of people in this industry would fucking bend over backwards for. That's why Jey Uso is the Intercontinental Champion. I don't know why I have to sit there and once again reiterate it to you. Would I have booked Braun Breaker to lose the championship? I said it last week. I'm going to say it again. No. There's a time and a place for something like that to happen. I thought it was too soon, but I also understood what Jey Uso had gone through to get to that point. And with that moment, you either take it or you don't. They opted to take it. When would that moment happen again? If Braun Breaker beat Jey Uso clean, when would that moment happen again like that? You have to ask yourself that question. So they pulled the trigger. I'm not going to sit here and debate why it's a bad decision. I wouldn't have done it, but they did it anyway. But I saw the good in what they did instead of looking at the bad. There is no bad here. Everybody pretended there was bad. What's bad? Jey Uso gets rewarded for his hard work, doing everything that they asked of him. He finally gets his championship. Meanwhile, Braun Breaker, I understand that he hasn't done much with the championship, but after tonight, I might as well mention this now. There was a backstage segment in which they were talking, or Kathy Kelly, I believe, was talking to Gunther, and right next to him was Ludwig Kaiser. This was after Gunther told Sammy, "You got your match." In walks Braun Breaker. He looks at the championship. He's staring at the World Heavyweight Championship. He says, "Don't mind me. I just want to get a closer look." And then Gunther tells Braun Breaker, "Oh, you really are a badass, huh?" And then Braun Breaker told Gunther he's going to be seeing him sooner than he realized. They basically told you what they're doing with Braun Breaker right then and there in that segment with Gunther. Do I think that's too soon? I do. I do not think Gunther should lose the championship. I don't. But they're obviously setting him up for bigger and better things. Braun Breaker losing the Intercontinental Championship last week and then eyeing the World Heavyweight Championship this week does not mean Braun Breaker is buried. That means Triple H and everybody else involved on his team, William Regal and everybody else that's back there writing this shit every week, that means that they are putting all of their cards on the table for Braun Breaker. They are basically telling you, we gave up the Intercontinental run that we thought he was going to have because we see him at this level. If WWE didn't see Braun Breaker as a world champion, they wouldn't be teasing him and Gunther already. If they wanted him to remain at one level, he would have been at that level because they think that he needs to work his way up there. Slow and steady wins the race. Oh, he's not ready for a world championship yet. So they took the title off of him. They put it on someone that more than deserves it, and they're moving him up the ladder in a very quick fashion. What does that mean? Does that mean he's buried? No, it doesn't mean he's buried. That means the company is fully backing Braun Breaker, and they already see him as a World Heavyweight Championship or champion for a World Heavyweight Championship in 2025. So please, I'd love for someone to tell me, where do you think that means he's buried? I don't know. Braun Breaker's a babyface. Gunther's a heel. Tonight was a babyface turn for Braun Breaker. Could he pull it off? Sure. He doesn't need to change a fucking thing. Just like Roman Reigns hasn't changed a fucking thing. He's still the OTC. He's still Roman Reigns. Braun Breaker, all he needs to do is be a badass. He was getting babyface reactions anyway, being himself. If they lean into it and really push him as a babyface up against heels now, more people will be on board with what they're doing with Braun Breaker. More dogs will be barking. And it's going to work out. They don't have to change a fucking thing. Just let him go out there, do his shit, wow us with his athleticism and his speed, and he will be more than fine. But I think we can stop the Berry talk. Because it's absolutely fucking stupid. As far as Jey Uso, I'm going to mention this now, being that this is part of the discussion. Jey Uso, he's defending the title next week against Xavier Woods. I don't think Xavier Woods is winning the championship. No reason why Xavier would even take the title off of Jey Uso. What I do think, and I mentioned this on TNT, Silent Monster didn't think it was going to happen because there are other factors at play. But I mentioned it because I had a feeling that's where they might go. There's a lot of guys on that show that deserve a championship. But this isn't AEW where they have 18 fucking championships and all but one has meaning. WWE has one mid-card championship on Monday Night Raw for the men. One. That is the Intercontinental Championship. They don't have 4 Intercontinental Championships. WWE doesn't give away participation trophies. Not anymore. Jey Uso's going to need a worthy contender for the title. When, where, how he loses it, I don't know. He did mention family again tonight. Are they teasing you with family looking at Jey, jealous, scheming and planning to take the title off of him because they're not as successful as Jey Uso is? Possibly. I don't know where that would happen. Maybe at a PLE. Not going to be Bad Blood. It's not going to be there. Maybe Saudi. I don't know. They haven't dropped any hints or clues that we're going to get the original bloodline back together. Is family going to ruin Jey Uso? It's a possibility. Got to open up that page and start writing that chapter. Or is Bronson Reed going to be the next big heel to take that Intercontinental Championship? Is Bronson Reed the guy that really forced WWE's hand to move Braun Breaker up to the main event scene already because of how incredible his run has been in the last 3 months on Monday Night Raw? I certainly think that's the case. No doubt about it. We were not talking about Bronson Reed 3 months ago anywhere near a fucking championship. The guy was an absolute non-factor on Monday Night Raw. They didn't know what the fuck they were doing with him. Meanwhile, Braun Breaker was going this way, and Bronson Reed was going this way. One guy was going up, the other guy was going down. Now both guys are going up. But if Braun Breaker was still the Intercontinental Champion as a heel, is Bronson Reed going to wrestle Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship, heel versus heel? To me, that's a lose-lose situation there. Who beats who? Can't put two guys that can't lose a match in a match together. Got to make everybody look strong. So what I think that they did is give Jey Uso the championship, move Braun Breaker up to the World's Heavyweight Championship scene. Who he wrestles to even get to Gunther first, I don't know. Where that match happens, I don't know. They may wait a little bit on that. There's a line. But Jey Uso's the Intercontinental Champion, and Bronson Reed, he lost tonight to Braun Strowman, thanks to Seth Rollins. Now, if we're going to get Bronson Reed versus Seth Rollins, there is no fucking way that you're going to book that match and have Bronson Reed lose. That is just absolutely brain-dead booking. No matter where that match happens, Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins, one-on-one, Bronson Reed needs a tsunami victory, clean over Seth Rollins. With that win, that solidifies him for the Intercontinental Championship. Bronson Reed versus Jey Uso, that's the guy that's going to take the title off of Jey Uso. So when I cycle back to when I say, did Bronson Reed force WWE's hand to take the title off of Braun Breaker so that they can move him up and move him into Bronson Reed's spot for the IC title? I certainly think that's the way that they've orchestrated this. Because nobody expected Bronson Reed to be where he is right now. And I'm glad that he is. The more main event guys that we get, the better the show will be. And he's certainly making a name for himself, just like Braun Breaker is. And you see where he's already going. Keep an eye on that, man. Keep an eye on it. Bronson Reed's going to be your new Intercontinental Champion. That is my prediction. When, where, I don't know. But it's certainly going to happen before the end of the year. Rey Mysterio made his way to the ring. And we are getting a match between Rey Mysterio and Xavier Woods. So that's one-on-one here. First match to open Monday Night Raw. Before that, we see Liv Morgan hugging Dominic in the parking lot with his new lowrider. Dominic's phone rang. Liv tells Dom she loves his car so much. Sure you do. So Finn Balor was calling Dominic, and he walked away because he had to take the call. JD McNuggets and Carlito walked up to Liv and asked her if she has seen Finn. She says, he was in the middle of something. McDonough asked if everything was good. She said yes. And then Finn was on the phone with Dom, telling Dom that he was having travel issues. But tell Liv that the plan they have is all taken care of. Dominic said, cool. We'll see you soon. Dominic updated McDonough and Carlito that Finn would be arriving soon, and that was basically it. Mysterio and Woods, one-on-one here. This all came about last week when Xavier Woods felt that Rey Mysterio disrespected him last week after they failed to capture the tag team championships. It's only went 7 minutes, but it was the ending that mattered the most here. They go to commercial break right after a 2-minute back and forth. Rey had the advantage, hits a springboard moonsault, seated senton, springboard crossbody. He then sets up for the 619. Woods ducked, and then you could obviously see what they were setting up for because Rey loosened the strap on his mask after the 619 attempt. So they trade counters back and forth. It was a little wonky and a little sloppy. Woods tried something, and he kind of dropped Rey Mysterio in the middle of whatever they were doing. So after they trade counters, Woods inadvertently ripped off Rey Mysterio's mask. Rey covered his face. Woods rolled him up, and Rey Mysterio did not even bother to kick out. He just ate the pin. 1, 2, 3. Xavier Woods beats Rey Mysterio with the mask spot that we've seen AEW use several times before. It's like a second, it's almost second nature to AEW when they have a luchador in the ring. Yeah, we'll just unmask them, and that's the way the match will end. So Xavier Woods wins here over Rey Mysterio. And was it accidental, or did he do it on purpose? That is the question. Crowd booed Xavier Woods, who played innocent, but the guy coming on in couldn't win a fucking match. So the way that I looked at it is, did he do it on purpose? I don't think he did it on purpose, but is he sorry for what he did? No. Xavier Woods wanted to win, he needed to win, and he would take a win no matter how he got it. And if that's demasking or unmasking Rey Mysterio, then so be it. That's what happened. So we got a victory over Rey Mysterio tonight. Kingston in the back. He approached Xavier Woods after what had happened, and Kofi Kingston did not really look all that pleased with what he did out there immediately. So Xavier thanks Kofi for letting him do that by himself. Kofi asked, well, listen, bro, did you mean to tear Rey's mask off? Xavier said, no, I respect Rey Mysterio too much, but I would expect that you would congratulate me for beating someone with the accolades that Rey Mysterio has. Kofi told Xavier that Jey offered him a title match next week. for the Intercontinental title. Xavier said, all right, I'll be by your side, and we'll climb the mountain again like we always do. Kofi cut him off and said, I told Jey that he should give Xavier the Intercontinental Championship match instead. So Xavier and his mood obviously got a little bit better there. He thanked Kofi and then said he's going to beat Jey. He can beat Jey. He's going to be the Intercontinental Champion. Xavier offered to be at ringside when Kofi goes one-on-one with Chad Gable later on in the show. And then they did New Day Rocks. The New Day is such a roller coaster on Monday night. One week they're angry. One week they're contemplating what they need to do to get back on track. One week they're sad and depressed and unhappy. Happiness, sadness. You're getting all the different emotions from both Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. They are two veterans that are obviously lost in their way. They don't know what they need to do to get back to the successes that they once had. They are struggling to find that way. They've actually been some of the best parts of Monday Night Raw, in my honest opinion. I love this story because you don't really know where it's going. Now, after the Rey Mysterio match, and this plays off what we've seen already, we've seen a lot more of it from Woods. Woods is going heel. That's the going speculation with everybody in the community. Woods is going heel. I could see that after tonight. Maybe he's bullshitting Kofi. Maybe he pulled the mask off Rey on purpose. I don't know. But then Xavier was in Kofi's corner when he wrestled Chad Gable. And then I started to kind of flip-flop. Maybe it isn't Xavier that's going heel. Maybe it's Kofi that's going heel. And I like the fact that they are keeping you on your toes. You don't know which way they are going to go. It's good stuff. Really good stuff. Lyra Valkyria. I'm waiting for the bird. There's no birds here, right? There's no, you got the doors closed, right? Okay. Now, if this bird's flying around in the fucking basement, man, then we got a problem. There's no more beer garden, man. The beer garden, I closed it down, man. It's shut down for the season, okay? I see birds in the fucking basement, man. We got some issues. Bird Girl, who just got married, by the way. So any of you geeks out there that have these unhealthy, unnatural, very, very weird, bizarre celebrity crushes on your favorite female pro wrestler, man. I love being the bearer of bad news here. Lyra Valkyria is a newly married woman. There you go, man. Go find yourself a new crush. I heard, what's her name? Yuka Sakazaki. I think she's on the market, man. Amina's on the market. Julia's on the market, man. There's a ton of fish in the sea. There's a ton of fish in the sea, man. You don't need Bird Girl, okay? She's flown the nest. Fucking bizarre people out there, man. Knowing every aspect of these people's personal lives. Lyra and Zoe Stark. 7 minutes. 7 minutes that I can't get back, man. 7 minutes of my life, I can't get that back, man. What would I do if the Lord God gave me those 7 minutes back, man? How would I spend those 7 minutes? I don't know. How to give my 7 minutes to Lyra and Zoe Stark. Very early commercial break here. Lyra got some offense in, knocked Zoe to the floor. Zoe landed a springboard dropkick. Lyra started rallying. Sonya Deville stepped onto the ring apron. Baszler also stood on the ring apron and distracted the referee. Sonya kneed Lyra as the referee had his back turned. Zoe then delivered the Z360 for the 1, 2, 3. 7 minutes. Great. Kaden Carter and Katana Chance ran out. Katana has this Undertaker-like mask on her face. Remember when The Undertaker wore the Phantom of the Opera mask? She's got this obstruction on her face because she has a broken nose. So they come running on out. They're out there to protect Lyra from a 3-on-1 situation. Carter and Chance knocked Baszler and DeVille onto their backs, middle of the ring, and delivered their kickstand move off the top rope. I have to ask this question again this week. Does anyone legitimately care about what's going on with this situation? If you do, God bless you, man. You have the patience of a fucking saint. Me? I would rather be doing anything else. JD, read the chat, bro. Jesse says I would probably be watching anime porn. No, bro. I am not a fat slob who lives at home with his mother and has hentai posters hanging on the wall. And I am not one that has a shrine dedicated to Lyra Valkyria with bird feathers and seance material hanging around. No. Now, any more comments like that, bro, I'm going to have to dump you. Okay? I'm going to get Ross to co-host with me on Wednesdays, and I'm going to kick you to the fucking curb, okay? Go make me an old-fashioned and shut your fucking mouth. Seriously. That's all I need you to do. Nobody asked for your opinion here, man. Nobody asked for your opinion over here, okay?
I don't even know why I come here.
I don't know why you come here either, motherfucker. Just do your fucking job. Does anybody care? I still have this nightmarish feeling that we're going to get a women's war games out of this shit. I just threw that out there into the universe, man. Let it float around until we get to Survivor Series on November 29th. Adam Pearce was telling security guys that they can't control Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman, but they can contain them, and he wants the match to stay in the ring. Oh, man, Adam Pearce, man, that guy's a fucking comedian, man. He wants it to be in the ring. Yeah, sure thing, guy. Sure thing, guy. Jackie Redmond. She interviewed Kaden Carter and Katana Chance backstage. Chance said they aren't the nice guys everyone thinks they are. But that ends right now. She said after they're done with Pure Insomnia Collective, they're going back after their tag team titles. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn walked in. Listen, Isla Dawn can walk in anytime she wants. No matter what, Isla Dawn can walk in anytime she wants. They walked in. Both of them told Kaden and Katana they can't jump ahead in line. Chance and Carter yelled back, and Lyra stepped in between them. Oh, man, we're getting some tag team action brewing, man, in the women's division, man. How many fucking teams is that? 3? Same 3 teams going back and forth for the tag team titles, man. Wow. It's riveting television. Ross, JD trying to give you my job on Wednesdays. Yeah, bitch. Yeah. Hell in a Cell. The cage lowers into the arena on Monday night. Adam Pearce and security already in the ring. Adam Pearce says one part of his job he takes very seriously is the delivery of his main events and special attractions. Said he plans on delivering one hell of a special attraction of Bad Blood on Saturday. Said after Hell in a Cell, their war will be over. but they have to avoid physical contact tonight. He says he has given each competitor a chance for one last parting shot in their bitter war of words. And out comes CM Punk. CM Punk is out there. So, Punk is out there first. He makes his entrance. Barrett says he's been in the cell before and he knows what it's all about. But his opponent on this occasion might be more deadly than any opponent previously. Tessitore said Punk and McIntyre have had nearly 1 year war of words. Pierce then introduced Drew McIntyre, who came out dressed in a black suit as if he was attending a funeral. Punk was in white pants and his white sleeveless CM Punk donned merchandise. Barrett said this version of McIntyre terrifies him and he doesn't know what he'll do inside Hell in the Cell on Saturday night. Barrett said this feud has to end on Saturday one way or another. Pierce asked them for any last words before Saturday in Atlanta. McIntyre said he'd go first, and we get a loud CM Punk chant ringing out. He said perhaps Punk was wondering why he was wearing black. He says he has zero respect for CM Punk, but it's out of respect for his wife, who will have to feed him and bathe him when he's finished with him on Saturday. Hell, she'll probably even leave you. I'm sure that would make a lot of single men very happy. No, that's not happening. He says he's been back less than a year and he's been injured 4 months and he's going to be gone forever after Saturday, and it's all due to Drew McIntyre. He says he can talk all day if Punk doesn't want to say anything. He said after all of the evidence presented to the fans, they still chant his name. Another loud CM Punk chant broke out. McIntyre says they hate each other now. You taught me how to hate. McIntyre said at one time he didn't know how to hate, but now he's learned, and it's a powerful weapon that he sticks. You know, it sticks with him, and it sticks with you long term, he says. So this Saturday, his hate will die with CM Punk. McIntyre dropped the microphone and he was ready to leave the ring. He didn't even want to hear what CM Punk had to say. But then he stepped back into the ring and onto the apron. Punk picked up the microphone because Adam Pearce picked it up and threw it at Punk. I don't even know if Punk wanted to say anything, really. Punk grabs the microphone, says people have called him a lot of things during his career, including best in the world, Second City Saint, voice of the voiceless. It's probably my favorite nickname, the voice of the voiceless. We consider ourselves voices of the voiceless, for sure. In a community filled with snakes and egos and fake, right? I like that name. He said now he's voiceless because he has nothing to say to Drew McIntyre. He says he's filled with so much rage when he looks at Drew McIntyre. He said he can't go home. He's lived in a hotel for the last 4 weeks because he doesn't want to subject his wife to the man that all of this has turned him into. He said McIntyre has turned him into the boogeyman that his harshest critics... Jesse... Who? Jesse. This is CM Punk speaking to Jesse here. Said McIntyre turned him into the boogeyman that his harshest critics have accused him of being. He says that's who he needs to be to send Drew McIntyre home to Scotland in a box. Punk told him to remember and never forget that you, Drew, prayed for all of this. And it happened. He said on Saturday, when he's taken everything from him and his fear subsides and he's left with nothing but panic on his hands and knees, crawling and begging, he will look up and wipe the blood from his eyes so he sees not God or the devil, but you will see CM Punk. I will see you in hell. He closes this promo out with. Tessitore said it perfectly. There is nowhere else that this is going to go. It's all over. Saturday it ends. McIntyre stared back at him angrily, and he had some final words off the microphone for Punk before he turned around and left. This was a great promo. Great visual. This wasn't done for any other reason but to sell you with the image of these two guys in the cell, keeping them apart, because if you're going to do it in the cell, obviously you're not going to give any of that away. You got Adam Pearce there. You got all these security geeks. You got Punk and McIntyre on opposite ends of the ring. Last words, the big sell on the go-home show. Perfect. No more needs to be said. I will reiterate what I said last week and the week before that. Both of these guys mentioned blood. There will be bloodshed. I think we know that for a fact. How much blood? I don't know. I don't think it's going to be buckets of blood like we usually see in AEW. But I do think that, and I mentioned this, CM Punk and MJF, I think that's a great foundation for how we build this match. It wasn't too violent, but the visual of Punk bleeding and the physicality that MJF brought to Punk that night in that dog collar match, that's what it needs to be. Hell in a Cell is back. For years, Hell in the Cell has been neutered to be nothing more than a match with a fucking cage surrounding two combatants, and there's been a lack of physicality, a lack of intensity, a lack of brutality, and a lack of violence, a lack of blood. If you're going to throw two guys in this match, bring it back, revitalize it, resuscitate it from the dead in which Vince killed it. For two guys that have been feuding since January, all leading to this. This pay-per-view, this match has been brought back for these two guys only. Everything else on this show, you could have labeled whatever the fuck you wanted. Over the Edge, Extreme Rules, whatever the fuck you want to name it. But you brought back this pay-per-view, Bad Blood. You brought back the Hell in a Cell on this show to celebrate the first one taking place in 1997 for these guys. So you better fucking deliver and go all out and give me a match that people will look back on and say, you know what? Out of all the Hell in a Cell matches that we've seen, that one belongs in the discussion for the most violent. That's what it needs to be. And knowing Punk and knowing McIntyre and where they want to take this, then it will certainly end up like that, making the fans very happy. I can't wait. I've said it for weeks. This is going to be an all-timer. An all-timer show, an all-timer match. I think Drew McIntyre goes off the side of the cage. I think we see bloodshed. I think we see violence. And no more red cell. I think anybody that was worried about Triple H bringing back the red cell, no. No, there was no doubt in my mind that the red cell was dead and buried as soon as Vince was kicked out of office. Goodbye. We're getting back to our roots, and that's what this match is going to do. Can't wait. I will say, though, in closing, I have been one of the only people, and I've started to see just a couple people get on board with what I've said. I said this weeks ago, and I'm going to reiterate it here again. I don't know what they do following this match. To me, there's a big logic gap. If they don't make a rash decision, trades, a supplemental draft of sorts, whatever. One guy's got to go while the other one stays. I've said this, and I start to see people not kind of picking up on it and say, you know, that's a good idea. Where do they go with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre after this match is over, with both of them coexisting on the same brand? Am I to believe that it's really over? Am I to believe that they are never going to want to see each other ever again, and they're going to coexist on the same brand and not talk to each other and walk by each other and make sure that everything goes according to the way Adam Pearce wants it? Everything's going to be swimmingly just fucking positive, man. There's not going to be any issues or chaos on Monday night with these guys coexisting on the same show after this match is over. Kind of sounds ridiculous. Like they're always going to be bound by blood now. After Saturday, they're going to be bound by hatred. How could they even remotely be on the same show? This is why I said weeks ago, and you know if you were here, I said it. Before anybody, this match should be loser leaves town or loser gets moved over to Friday night. There's no way that these two guys can coexist. No way. I do think that if McIntyre stays on Monday night, there is nothing for him to do. Nothing. What is he going to do? If Punk beats McIntyre, McIntyre's not going after Gunther. Punk is going to go after Gunther. What is McIntyre going to do? He's a heel. It's the land of the heels on Monday night. Bronson Reed's probably going to win the IC title. Gunther's the world's heavyweight champion. Maybe making a move over to Friday night is the best move for Drew McIntyre, because if the rumors are true, which are not confirmed right now by any official source, USA Network hasn't said anything, if they are really moving SmackDown to 3 hours, don't you think a move of Drew McIntyre over to SmackDown would make the right move or be the right choice to make? Sounds like a good one to me. You're not going to move him over there without getting anything in return. Maybe there's a trade that happens. Maybe there's a draft that happens to kind of boost up SmackDown as far as their depth issues are concerned. I don't know. But I just find that to be a large logic hole. How could they coexist? So we'll see what happens. I don't know. I'm sticking to that. I think that's a good move. I think McIntyre moving over to Friday Night SmackDown, being placed on Friday night, turn of the new year when we get Pat McAfee and Michael Cole back on Monday night on Netflix. Joe Tessitore will probably move to Friday night along with Wade Barrett because they are a great duo together. Corey Graves will probably be over there as well. Maybe they move Corey Graves over to Monday. I don't know why they wouldn't want Corey, Pat, and Michael Cole as the team. And Joe Tessitore obviously can handle it with Wade Barrett. I don't know why they need a third. Tessitore is doing great. But the main thing is there, Wade Barrett moving back to Friday. If they move Drew McIntyre back to Friday and Wade Barrett moves back to Friday, I think McIntyre just loses his shit. Wade Barrett's kind of, I don't know if they've really teased it through Barrett or maybe it's just a figment of my imagination or me just fantasy booking, but I could see Wade Barrett coming out of retirement from one match. If we're talking about a WrestleMania match for Drew McIntyre, who is that going to be? Do you have anybody on your list that you think is a great WrestleMania opponent for Drew McIntyre? Do you know who my WrestleMania opponent for Drew McIntyre would be? I'd bring Wade Barrett out of retirement and book Wade Barrett versus Drew McIntyre in a one-on-one match. Depending on how Wade Barrett wants to go about it, is it going to be one match and done? Does he want to come back on a semi-part-time basis? That's what I would do. They've already teased that. McIntyre's already made advances at Wade Barrett, saying that if he got in his way and said anything disrespectful again, that it's going to be him that's going to get his ass beat. Wade Barrett's been a factor in this Punk and McIntyre feud as well. He's got in between them. He's had to calm down McIntyre. I could see that being the WrestleMania match if you want to go that route. See what happens there. Kathy Kelly. She interviewed Braun Strowman. She asked Braun Strowman about facing Bronson Reed later. She asked if he was trepidatious. I don't know what trepidatious even means, but I know I'm not nervous. Okay, Strowman. Thanks for telling everybody that you are... Never mind. He doesn't know what trepidatious means. Kathy Kelly is smarter than Braun Strowman. Color me shocked. Miz walked up to Strowman, and he asked, well, what happened last week? I told you not to come out there. You interfered in my match with Bronson Reed. I wanted to do it myself. So he wanted to ask him about that situation. Immediately, R-Truth interrupted. Strowman says he didn't expect to see R-Truth here on Monday night. Truth asked why. Well, Strowman said it's because Bronson Reed gave you 5 tsunamis. Strowman says he has a massive match to deal with. So, Miz, you and I can talk whenever you want. We'll talk a little bit later. And I got to go take care of business. I got this guy later tonight. And I'll see you guys later. So, Miz asks Truth, what are you doing here? Why didn't you tell me that you were going to be here? Truth says, well, I work here. Miz asked why he didn't tell him he was coming. Truth then says, well, listen, I've been watching the show, and I don't like that Cross has been picking on you. Miz says, Cross is not picking on me. Truth then says he got him and Miz a match with A-Op. He got Awesome Truth a match with A-Op. Miz was like, who? A-Op? AOP. Truth said the Awesome Truth is back, and it's awesome. They hugged. Miz says it's good to have him back, and all was good in the hood there between Awesome Truth. AOP. Kathy Kelly interviewed Sami Zayn backstage. She asked what it would take to get himself a world title match against Gunther, since he keeps rejecting him. He said every step along the way in his career, he's had doubters. He said you'd think he'd be used to it and it wouldn't bother him, but it still does. He said it bothers him that Gunther says he won't give him a title match because he doesn't think he's on his level. He says he's good enough to become world champion. He said he can keep running his mouth and ducking and dodging him, but he doesn't go away that easy. He says he is coming for him, and he won't stop until he gets his world title match. I'm surprised R-Truth did not say IHOP. Who? AOP? Yeah, AOP. Authors of Pain. Dominic Mysterio and J.D. McRib, along with Carlito, against Dragon Lee, Cruz del Toro, and Joaquin Wilde. Are you guys burnt out of the Judgment Day and Legado del... Oh, no, they're not Legado del Fantasma. They used to be Legado del Fantasma. Are you guys burnt out with the Judgment Day versus the LWO? I know I am. I'm so over it. Tired. I don't want to see it anymore. A 6-man tag team match here. The babyfaces all hit their big flashy offense. We go to a commercial break about 90 seconds in. LWO were on offense after the break. They all hit big dives. Joaquin went to the top. Liv distracted. I mean, it is not difficult to see Liv Morgan being a great distraction. Distracted the referee, so he just stopped what he was doing instead of just hitting the move, did Joaquin. Dumb babyface syndrome. But like I said, Liv Morgan is on the apron. I think any man's going to stop what they're doing. Balor showed up as a surprise, and he shoved Joaquin off the top rope. J.D. McDouble hit him with the Devil Inside, which is not only the name of a Slipknot song, a very good one, but that is the name of his finish, and it's a backdrop suplex. The 1, 2, 3. So J.D. McNuggets with a side of sweet and sour sauce gets the victory for the Judgment Day. So Finn Balor is back. And Balor was celebrating with the rest of the Judgment Day. Go to commercial break. We come back. Their music is still playing, which, I mean, it's Alter Bridge. So if the crowd gets more Miles Kennedy, lucky them. Balor then turned to the Heart camera and addressed Damian Priest on Saturday. It's Balor and Priest one-on-one at Bad Blood. He said he'll prove on Saturday that they never needed Priest, but rather Priest needed them. Liv says she will prove she is a home-wrecking, man-stealing, heartbreaking, title-taking greatest women's champion of all time. I don't know about that last line, but everything else, spot on. She was interrupted by Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley shows up. Crowd popped, obviously. Ripley said she was with Dominic for a long time, so she knows all of his dirty secrets. She asked for the shark cage to be rolled in. It was. She said she knows Dominic is extremely claustrophobic. You know who else is claustrophobic? This guy right here. Can't stand it. You want to see me just completely freak out? Put me in a claustrophobic situation. I'm claustrophobic. I don't like bugs. I don't like fish. I don't like heights. 4 biggest fears right there. She said when Dom is crying and soiling himself and cleaning yourself with your brand new merch. If you guys didn't really know what she was talking about there, you go to WWE Shop. Apparently, Dominic Mysterio has his own toilet paper. It's got his face and his likeness on it, and it says, Dirty Dom. Can you imagine wiping your asshole with toilet paper with Dominic Mysterio's face on it, where it says, Dirty Dom? I'm sure there are some bizarre people out there that would buy that for however much it is. I have to look this up now. I have to look it up. I'm genuinely curious to see how much Dominic Mysterio toilet paper. Let's see how much this costs. WWE Shop. Dominic Mysterio toilet paper. In stock. This item will ship within 2 business days. It was last purchased 5 minutes ago. Not by me, by somebody. Somebody actually bought this 5 minutes ago. $12.99. $12.99 for Dominic Mysterio toilet paper. And if you guys don't believe me, there you go. Look at that. Dominic Mysterio. This guy has fucking toilet paper, man. He's got fucking toilet paper. I mean, is it 2-ply? It better be fucking at least 4-ply. That shit better be fucking thick. None of this fucking gas station type toilet paper, man. Can you imagine that? Oh my goodness. Football, it was you. Purchased 5 minutes ago. Man, oh man. You could have gave me the fucking $13, man. I would have put it to better use. No, it better not. It probably is single roll. Honestly. Man, you guys got to be a bunch of fucking suckers. Seriously. That's what she was talking about there. So the toilet paper thing is real, for sure. He'll have the best seat in the house to see his little girlfriend realize she just isn't as good as her. She said she'll win back the title she never lost. She said they're done talking. Priest shut up from behind. Is that toilet paper made of gold leaf? I guess so, David. I don't know. I have no idea. It certainly looks like 1-ply, yes. So Damian Priest showed up from behind the Judgment Day. He took them out one at a time, kind of picking them off like a sniper. Rhea Ripley beat up Liv, and then Dominic at ringside. J.D. McFish took one of his signature flip bumps, middle of the ring, selling for Damian Priest. Ripley threw Dominic into the cage, and then chased Liv away. So there you go. Dominic is going to be locked inside the shark cage at Bad Blood. So if he is claustrophobic, then he's going to have a very difficult time hanging above the match, hanging above the ring. My prediction is Liv Morgan retains the Women's Championship with the help of either Dominic or an outside presence, which right now, a lot of people tend to think that Raquel Rodriguez or Raquel Gonzalez is going to come back and help Liv Morgan, being that she has history with Liv as previous tag team champions at one point or another, and she certainly has history with Rhea Ripley. So it's going to be an interesting situation to see play out, but I do think that Liv Morgan will retain the women's championship. Sheamus cut a pre-tape promo on Pete Dunn. He called him Butch, and he called him the loser weight. I'm not gonna lie, man. I laughed out loud when I heard Sheamus call Pete Dunn not the bruiserweight, but the loser weight. I don't know why I found that so funny, man, but I found that to be hilarious. I love Sheamus. Sheamus is so great. Sheamus knew Dunn was dangerous, so if he wanted to play rough, they should have had one final banger. Sheamus offered Dunn to bring whatever gimmick he wanted for a good old-fashioned Donnybrook. Pal! This is a Vince special. The good old Donnybrook. Should be good. Shillelaghs and beer barrels and bar tops and beer glasses and all the typical shit that you'd see in a genuine Irish pub. Should be fun. Should be fun. I saw a lot of people. They were complaining. And I guess I'll get into it a little bit more when we get to Gunther and Sami Zayn. Complaining that Sheamus and Pete Dunne should take place at Bad Blood. I could see why people would be upset with that. I know everybody feels like, someone like Sheamus and even Pete Dunne, who's been doing some great work lately, deserve a PLE spot. But it looks like we've been kind of conditioned in this Triple H era, right? The Paul Levesque era. You see what his plan of attack is. You see what his PLEs and weekly shows are starting to take shape and look like. And I'll talk about that a little bit more when we get to the Gunther and Sami Zayn segment, because I thought that Gunther and Sami Zayn were going to take place at the PLE because that match is a PLE match. I don't know why it's not taking place at the PLE. We'll talk about that in a second. Io Sky and Kairi Sane cut a pre-tape promo challenging Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill to a tag team title match. Io said Damage Control hasn't been the same since losing the titles and they need them back. Io was in Belair's head after beating her, and she would live rent-free in her head when they won the tag team titles. I'm sniffing a title change. I think Triple H is going to put the titles on Io and Kairi. I think that's the right move to make. Chad Gable. He went one-on-one with Kofi Kingston. Xavier Woods was in his corner. So this was another match that went into a commercial break literally 60 seconds into the match after the bell rung. Gable had a little cut on his forehead. Don't know what happened there. He started bleeding. Gable hit a German suplex outside the ring before the break and a diving headbutt after we get back from commercial break. Gable cut Kingston's comeback off. He hit a T-bone suplex. They traded cradles until Gable hit a big cliffhanger DDT for a 2 count. Gable applied an ankle lock, but Kofi quickly countered into a cradle for 2. Gable blocked Trouble in Paradise, applied an ankle lock, but Kingston countered again. It was kind of sloppy here. I don't know what had happened. Looks like Kofi was a little off, a little sluggish. Kingston hit an SOS. I hate the SOS. I think it's such an ugly-looking move. That's just me, though. Gable got a rope break after the SOS connected, and the referee stopped his counter to 2. Gable escaped the ring. Kingston wiped out Gable and the Creeds with a big splash off the steel steps. Woods joined in on the attack and attacked Julius Creed. Ivy Nile, she distracted the referee, but it was Woods who took advantage by tripping Gable. Now, you listen to me say that, and you think, well, that's a good thing for Kofi Kingston. Xavier Woods tripped up Chad Gable. This would certainly lead to Kofi Kingston getting the advantage. No, it did not work out that way. Xavier tripped up Gable and was actually something that backfired because he tripped Chad Gable up while Kofi was midair looking for Trouble in Paradise. He was about to hit Trouble in Paradise as Gable came off the ropes. And with Xavier tripping up Gable, Kofi did the Trouble in Paradise, but he missed, and the pool was empty. He hit face first on the mat. So Gable actually gets up, hits Kingston with the Chaos Theory, and wins the match 1-2-3. Now, remember when I said just moments ago, earlier in the stream, that the New Day story has kind of breathed new life into the New Day? And I love the road that Triple H is taking us on here. Because at first, we were like, for the last several weeks, it's going to be Xavier. It's going to be Woods that turns heel. After this, I don't really see Woods turning heel. He may still be the heel turn. But after tonight, Kingston just looked completely dejected. Kingston gave Woods the quarterback position. You make the rules. I will go along with whatever you want to do. Xavier Woods is making the plays. Xavier Woods is making the calls. Is Kofi Kingston going to stand for that? He could have had this match won. In fact, he did have this match won. All he needed was to hit Trouble in Paradise. 1, 2, 3. But Woods fucked it up. He called the play, and he fumbled. Is Kofi going heel? 10-year anniversary of the New Day is coming up in November. It's going to be a very interesting story to see play out. WWE paid tribute to Pete Rose, who passed away today. 83 years old, Pete Rose, WWE Hall of Famer. WWE showed some of their talent shown at football games in the NFL over the weekend. Seth Rollins was shown at the Ravens game. McIntyre and Liv Morgan were at the Colts game, and Sheamus was at the Notre Dame game on Saturday. WWE getting involved with the football franchises, man. It's great marketing. They take those WWE replica titles with the football teams on the center plate, those NFL and college titles, they take them to the game and they flaunt them about. Hey, look, championship titles with the Baltimore Ravens insignia on them, and how many you think they sold? You see someone wearing that, you want that, man. It's a good move. It's a good marketing ploy. Good on them. Jackie Redmond interviewed Bronson Reed. She asked if Seth Rollins' eventual return. Man, did they telegraph that, huh? She asked if Seth Rollins' eventual return, because Rollins was at the Ravens game and they showed Rollins having some fun and, you know, him getting into some hijinks at the Ravens game. So that's why she asked, would be a good distraction for Reed tonight. Reed said no. He wanted Rollins to return. He took months off Rollins' career, and next time he would take years off of his life. It's pretty ominous there by Bronson Reed. Reed would expose Braun Strowman as the man that he was, because Reed was the last monster standing. Bronson Reed is great. Bronson Reed is great. We got a Wyatt Sicks VHS promo. We get this tape. We haven't seen the Wyatt Sicks since they beat American Made. The message in the Wyatt Sicks VHS is, we see your intent, anger festering into rage. Do not go down this path. It ends in your demise. You know better. Do not force our hand. Heed our admonition. Whatever the fuck that means. And then we see this female who's wearing this white cloth over her head. And we see the white cloth come up, and we see a face blink several times. I had to stop and freeze frame this. So we see who this is. And the growing speculation online is either A, Alexa Bliss admonishment. Is that what they said? I must have typed too fast. Ammunition, admonishment, whatever. The growing speculation is that this is Alexa Bliss. Did it look like Alexa Bliss to me? No, it did not look like Alexa Bliss to me. It might have been, yeah. Who knows? Who knows who this is? Is it Alexa Bliss? It did not look like Alexa Bliss to me. In fact, it actually looked like Nikki Cross without the makeup on, without the mask on. That did not look like Alexa Bliss to me. I don't think Alexa Bliss is coming back anytime soon. I don't. So who are they talking about? Who is this message for? What does Nikki Cross have to do with this? I don't know. I do not think it's Alexa Bliss. In fact, I don't want to see Alexa Bliss anywhere near this fucking family. I don't. WWE announced Ilya Dragunov suffered a torn ACL in a match against Gunther over the weekend at a WWE live event, and that he would be out of action for 6 to 9 months. The real Wyndham sister. Maybe. I don't know. Does she wrestle? I have no idea. Is she coming back to play Sister Abigail? Ilya Dragunov's out for 6 to 9 months, man. There goes my early Royal Rumble pick. Looks like we ain't getting that Gunther and Dragunov match for the World Heavyweight Championship until middle of next year. So it's September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. So it looks like Dragunov will be back in time for SummerSlam. SummerSlam in New Jersey, at MetLife Stadium, 2 nights. He's gone. That's a big blow, man. That's a big blow. I don't know what had happened. I don't know why they were even running that match on a house show. Why? I don't know what the plan was for Dragunov. I know he was getting involved with the Judgment Day. And that's a big blow, man. He's a stud in every sense of the word. And he didn't really get off on the right foot yet. They were just kind of still trying to find a role for him. I do believe that the Judgment Day feud was going to be used as a catalyst to get him over as a babyface. A big one. Because everybody that feuds with the Judgment Day really kind of, you know, they just kind of gravitate towards being a good babyface because nobody really likes the Judgment Day. But that's sad news, man. It really is some sad news. I'm sorry to hear that. I wish him nothing but the best. The Mad Dragon, hopefully he comes back and just absolutely blows the timetable away. And if you guys see what he posts on Twitter, his workout regime and some of the shit he does, man, is absolutely inhuman. So you would watch him and say, I don't know how a normal human being can do that without tearing a muscle or tearing a ligament. This guy is a fucking freak of nature. Some of the shit he did blows my mind, and he never got injured. So I'm wondering what it was that got him injured in this match. It's going to keep him out for 6 to 9 months. But if there's anything in those videos that you've taken away from, you know, how he trains and how he operates, this guy is going to come back nastier. He's going to come back bigger and stronger than he was before. But man, is that a huge blow. That's a solid middle-of-the-card guy right now that they're not going to be without until the middle of 2025, man. That sucks. That really does suck. So I want to see who steps up and takes his place and who steps up and takes whatever ball he was holding, man. I want to see how far they run with it. Maybe it's a call-up. Maybe it's someone from NXT. I don't know. Gunther. Speaking of which, Gunther and Sami Zayn, they have a face-to-face here, and Gunther's out first. Said he loved every aspect of being the world champion, being the top guy, the money, the luxuries, the amenities. But there was one thing he hated about his life right now, and it was the insult of having to deal with Sami Zayn every single week. He could not ask for anyone more annoying than Sami Zayn. Zayn interrupted. He says if he was so annoying, there was one way to put an end to it. All Gunther had to do was put his title on the line. Zayn wanted Gunther to tell the world why he wouldn't do it. Luca the Vile in the chat says, I wonder if Ilya's injury is what forced Braun Breaker's face turn early. I'm sure that was a part of it. I could see that being a good part of it. I do think that what I said earlier about Bronson Reed just fucking absolutely getting the rocket pack to him, I think that kind of flipped their feelings on it as well, more so than that. But I do think Ilya getting hurt kind of maybe pushed them in that direction just a little bit, for sure. So, Zayn says, if you want me to stop being annoying, then maybe you should give me the title match. If he's so annoying, then there's one way to put an end to it. All Gunther has to do is put the title on the line. Zayn wanted Gunther to tell the world why he couldn't do it. Gunther said Zayn wasn't on his level. Zayn asked why he was the one who beat him at WrestleMania. Gunther beat former champions and Hall of Famers, but it was Zayn who pinned him for the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania. Gunther thought he was so much better than Zayn, and that result drove him crazy. Gunther was scared it would happen again. The crowd called Gunther a coward and started chanting, coward. Gunther admitted he was afraid. He wasn't afraid of Sammy. He was afraid of his reputation. Losing to the better man would have been no problem for Gunther, but losing to Zayn was the biggest embarrassment of his career, is what he said. Gunther was so confident he would win at WrestleMania that he flew his family in, and he had to look at his father in the eyes, who told him that he flew from Vienna to Philadelphia just to watch his son lose to a bum like Sami Zayn. Gunther didn't expect Sami to understand this because his family was used to seeing Sami fail. Gunther's family expected everything from him. He was the golden goose of his family. He was special, and something Sami Zayn would never be, the world heavyweight champion. Sami says he did lose a lot in front of his family, but he kept pulling himself up and moving forward. Gunther crumbled after he lost. This is where they lost me in the promo, because I don't really know how this even made it into the final cut of this promo. Who wrote this? Gunther crumbled after he lost. Did he? Do you guys remember Gunther crumbling after he lost the IC title? I don't. Gunther never even asked for a rematch. Did Sami not pay attention to what was going on around him? He then says Gunther disappeared and he couldn't show his face. And he was off WWE TV for months. Now, I don't know exactly what Sami is talking about, because Gunther lost the title. He took a couple of weeks off. WWE announced the return of the King of the Ring, and Gunther competed in 4 matches and won the King of the Ring tournament by beating Randy Orton in the finals at Saudi Arabia. So where exactly did Gunther crumble? Where exactly did Gunther cower and stay off TV because he was afraid and was a coward? He was off TV for months. I remember him winning King of the Ring by winning 4 matches. Or 3 matches, whatever the fuck it was. Who wrote that? Why was that there? Really did not make any sense whatsoever, and it actually made Sami look like a dummy. That's not what happened. Like, I get it. Sami wants to get this championship match, and maybe he said it that way because he was using it as a tactic to kind of get Gunther to say yes, but don't blatantly lie to me. Don't take us for stupid idiots, man. Sami crumbled in the promo. Yes, he crumbled with misinformation. Gunther, he's obviously not happy here. Now he was showing his dad he was also a coward. All because his dad made him feel like a loser. He disappeared. Gunther leveled Sammy with a clothesline. Zayn fought back, but Gunther caught him in a sleeper. No, actually not a sleeper. Zayn caught him in a back suplex, an exploded suplex, and Gunther caught him in a sleeper and started choking him out for a little bit, and then turned him inside out with a powerbomb and dropped him nasty with the powerbomb. Gunther takes the microphone and accepts Zayn's challenge. He walks out of the ring. Sammy gets up after the powerbomb, smiles, and then mouths off to Gunther off the microphone saying, "I got you." Maybe that's why he said what he said. I don't know. Sammy got his match. World Heavyweight Championship on the line. Sami Zayn challenges Gunther for the World Heavyweight title at not Bad Blood. Triple H is not doing this match at Bad Blood. He's doing this match next week on the return of Monday Night Raw at 2 hours on the USA Network. Now, I get it. I know why people are upset. I'm kind of scratching my head about why Gunther and Sami Zayn are not on Bad Blood. I said this once, and I'm going to say it again. Right now, Bad Blood has how many matches? We got Drew and Punk inside Hell in a Cell. Right? That's one match. Roman and Cody. Maybe Rock shows up. I don't know. Roman and Cody versus Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. Big double main event. Then we got the ladies. We got Nia Jax and Bayley, Liv Morgan, and Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. Finn Balor versus Damian Priest. And a sixth match. What's the other match that's taking place? Did they run through the card? I know I'm missing one. Who else is wrestling on the show? I got to look this up now. Don't tell me it's 5 matches. Bad Blood match card. Don't tell me they only did 5 matches. Let's see. Nia Jax, Bayley, Damian Priest, Balor, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa, Drew McIntyre, CM. The 5 matches. Are you fucking kidding me? 5 matches? Man, I was for certain they were going to do 6 matches. That's ridiculous, man. That's ridiculous. Listen, guys, you know, I think Triple H has changed the product for the better. I do. A show like this should not be 5 matches. I'm sorry. I get the quality over quantity. This is exactly what he did with Black and Gold. He gave you just enough so that at the end of the show, you are wanting more. He knows he's got us. Everybody that complains 5 matches is too little for a PLE. He's got us. Everybody that says it should be a 6 match, it should be a 7 match show. You could do this match there. You could do that match there. It could be 7 or 8 matches. He knows he's got us. He knows he's got us. He gives you just enough. And this show has 2 huge main events. He knows he's got us. But that doesn't excuse the fact that, looking at it on paper, 5 matches for a huge show, a returning, a classic show, a show that gave birth to Hell in a Cell. 5 matches is too little. 6 matches would have been okay. 7 would have been perfect. I thought legitimately this was going to be a 7-match pay-per-view. You could have done Carmelo and Andrade 7 on this show because they deserve a PLE more than anybody. That 7th match deserves a PLE. I certainly thought they were going to do Sami Zayn and Gunther at the PLE. My gripe is, how are you going to have Sami beat Gunther and end 666 days, the longest Intercontinental Championship reign of all time? How are you going to put that on the WrestleMania card and then have their rematch for the world title take place on Monday night and not on a PLE? I get why he's doing what he's doing. I'll get to that in a second. But from a pair of eyes looking at it from the outside looking in, that person's going to start asking, well, that doesn't make any sense. That's kind of bullshit. It's kind of lame. But at the end of the day, Triple H knows he's got us. If he sees us wanting more, he knows he's got us. Now, granted, he's got a Monday Night Raw now at 2 hours, which is going to be a lot easier for him to book. SmackDown's going to be 2 hours for the rest of the year. It's going to be a lot easier for him to book. The way that he's designed the pay-per-view builds, anywhere between 4 and 6 weeks. He'll give you build for 5 matches. But in total, he'll give you build for 9 matches. 7, 8, 9 matches. Not everything's going to make the pay-per-view, the PLE. He'll do 5 on the show, and then he'll spread the rest out on Monday night. You don't think Sheamus and Pete Dunne deserve a PLE match? You don't think that Donnybrook match could take place at Bad Blood after what we've seen? It fits the bill. Bad Blood. Sheamus, Pete Dunne. It fits Bad Blood. You don't think Carmelo and Andrade fits the bill for Bad Blood? Of course it does. You don't think Sami and Gunther fits the bill for Bad Blood? Of course it does. But this is his mentality. He's trying to do the best thing he can to make the PLE must-see, while also at the same time booking big matches for Monday night and Friday night so that you tune into the weekly shows. He's trying to keep everything at the same level of importance. But people are going to start asking questions. This show certainly needs a 6th match. I'd even go 7. But that's not the way he operates. He's going to do 5, and then he's going to spread out the other 2 on Monday and the other 2 on Friday. So that's why we're getting Sheamus and Pete Dunne on Monday. That's why we're getting Jey Uso defending the Intercontinental Championship against Xavier Woods on Monday. That's why we're getting the tag team titles for the ladies on Monday. And that's why we're getting Sami and Gunther on Monday. This could easily be a 9-match pay-per-view. Triple H is not going to give you a 9-match pay-per-view. He's got his strategy. His strategy is build 5 matches for the pay-per-view, settle on 5 matches for the PLE, and spread out the remaining stories across Monday and Friday night. What do they say? Don't hate the player, hate the game? Triple H knows he's got you. He did the same thing in NXT. Every single one of those takeover shows could have been 7, 8, 9 matches. And you would have been fucking over the moon. You want more because you love the product. You love what they're doing. You want more. But he doesn't think that way. He thinks if you get more, then you're going to lose interest more. You're going to lose interest quicker. So he's got you because he's going to give you enough. He's not going to fill you up. Your belly's not going to be full. You're not going to be a slob on the couch with your fucking zipper unzipped and you're sitting there trying to fucking stop yourself from falling asleep because you're in a fucking food coma. He's going to fill your belly up to a point where you are nice, you are content, you got room left for dessert, and you finish your dessert. You go out after that for a nice evening cocktail, and good night. That's his mentality. This is typical, prototypical Triple H black and gold. I don't agree with it. For NXT Black and Gold, for NXT TakeOver, I agreed with it. Because that's all those shows needed to be. Perfect. The PLEs, the main roster, 5 matches, man. Not enough. 6 matches. This show could have easily been a 7-match show. Easily. And you're starting at 6 p.m. You're starting at 6 p.m. Even more of an excuse to give me a 6th and a 7th match. How are you not going to have Gunther on the fucking PLE? He's got you. Just think back to when you question, well, why is there only 5 matches? He's got you. That's why. Next week on Raw, Gunther, Zayn, Uso, Woods, Sheamus, Pete Dunn. 2-hour show. Love it. Authors of Pain. Awesome Truth. 2 minutes. 3 minutes. All that you need to know here is that Miz turned on R-Truth. Truth made the hot tag to Miz, but he immediately turned around and booted R-Truth in the face. Crowd booed Miz. Karrion Kross was delighted on the outside. AOP hit R-Truth with their finish, which they call What a Rush. Yes. Because Paul Ellering used to manage the Legion of Doom, and that was Hawk's famous line, and they now adopted that catchphrase as the finishing move for the Authors of Pain, which is a combo powerbomb neckbreaker for 1, 2, 3. Miz turned on Truth. Good, I guess. I mean, it's much better than seeing Awesome Truth in the tag team division. But I'm not really jumping over the moon excited about another Miz heel turn on Monday night. I don't know where he fits in. I really don't. They are starting at 6 because UFC has a pay-per-view on Saturday too. Oh, is that the case? Cool. Last monster standing. Before we get to the main event, Kathy Kelly tried interviewing Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser. They were interrupted by Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker wanted to see Gunther in the World Heavyweight Championship up close for himself. Gunther called Braun Breaker a badass. Oh, man, you're such a badass, right? And Braun says he'd find out about me being a badass very, very soon. Gee, man. That Braun Breaker kid, man, he's buried, ain't he? Sure thing. Last monster standing. This got 20 minutes and 2 commercial breaks. They gave these guys a lot of time. The whole show was built around this. They went to, the common theme with this is that they start the match and within 90 seconds, they go to a commercial break. That happened in every match tonight. Bell rings, 90 seconds, we'll go to commercial break. Strowman chokeslam Reed through the announce table, and we go to our first commercial break. Reed got up at his 6, and then we go to the break. We come back, there were 6 chairs set up in the aisleway, all facing each other. It was like a chair bridge. So Strowman, he's running very, very slow, very gingerly. I mentioned before, his knees are fucking shot. I don't know how good Strowman is going to be, man. His knees are gone. He ran very, very slow to knock Reed off the apron through the chairs. This was the sloppiest looking spot in the entire match because Strowman had zero momentum. It was basically him limping up to Bronson Reed, shoulder tackling him, and Bronson Reed kind of hesitated falling through the chairs because he knew that shit was going to suck on the way down. Just a terrible spot. Strowman attacked Reed with a chair, and they wound up on top of a production box or some equipment box. Reed hoisted Strowman up in a Death Valley driver and jumped off the equipment crate through 2 tables down below, which looked great. We go to another commercial break with both guys down. We come back. Reed tackled Strowman through a timekeeper's barricade. He got up at a 7. So Reed says, all right, a 7, let's make it a 10. He tackled him through the front row barricade where there were obvious plants and they pretended like he went through the first row barricade and barreled through fans in the front row. So the illusion of it looked good. It sounded good. It looked cool. But we all know WWE's not going to legitimately do this spot with real fans in attendance there. So the officials ran out. Obviously, they all pretended to be very worried about these fans in the front row. So Reed throws Strowman into the ring. Strowman's on his back. Reed goes up top. He hits 2 tsunamis. Now, the referee wasn't there to count Braun Strowman down, in which, he would have lost the match at this point, clearly, because 2 tsunamis, it's over. 1 tsunami, it's over. So the referee still had his back turned, and Bronson Reed is now so fucking pissed, yelling at the referee. So Pierce is on the outside. Bronson Reed leaves to go grab the referee. He throws the referee by his shirt down on the ground. Pierce confronted Reed because he manhandled the official. So Bronson Reed grabbed Adam Pierce and was about to fucking absolutely destroy him. I was hoping that was coming. I did, low-key, I thought that was coming. So we got this bunch of security guards trying to pull Reed away from Adam Pierce, and they all huddled together at the same time. Braun Strowman leapt off the top rope and wiped everybody out with a big splash. And that looked great. He took some flight off the top rope, did Braun Strowman. So both men got up before a 10 count. Adam Pierce is still roaming around on the outside, watching this chaos happen firsthand. Strowman goes to the top, but Reed in the ring now threw a chair at his head. Reed hit a superplex off the second turnbuckle, and the ring posts exploded, and we got the stereotypical big man, let's destroy the ring. All the ring posts popped, the ring collapsed, and the crowd chanted, holy shit, holy shit. This looked like the weakest of all the exploding ring spots, but still, it's a cool visual nonetheless. Reed crawled towards the steel steps that were already in the ring because of the ring collapse. Seth Rollins came out, he ran out, and as Bronson Reed was trying to propel himself back up so that he could win the match, because it's a last man standing match, Rollins, he saw Bronson Reed get up, and he delivered a curb stomp to Bronson Reed on the steel steps, and that is what kept Bronson Reed down. Strowman barely beat the 10 count. He gets the win. After he stood up, bell rang, he collapsed back down, and Seth Rollins celebrated his return as Bronson Reed looked on in disgust. And Monday Night Raw went off the air. I thought this was fun. This was a great culmination of Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed. This was good stuff. This was a great in-between feud. It gave us some great moments on Monday night. It was a natural progression of Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed to get to a last man standing match. Natural progression to take Bronson Reed from what he did to Rollins and Miz and R-Truth. To have Braun Strowman stand up and say, hey, you're not going to bully anybody else anymore. Funny coming from him. He's the biggest bully of them all. And Bronson Reed and him, last man standing. The promotion for the match was Godzilla vs. King Kong. Everything about this was great. Bronson Reed losing this match does absolutely nothing to Bronson Reed's stock. Nothing. Now he's moving on from Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman still remains the monster with an asterisk next to his name because Bronson Reed got help, or Braun Strowman rather got help from Seth Rollins. Now Bronson Reed moves on to Seth Rollins. He'll take care of Seth Rollins. All we need is one. All we need is one match. Bronson Reed wins. This whole thing is about keeping Bronson Reed strong. Bronson Reed beats Seth Rollins whenever that match takes place, wherever that match takes place. Bronson Reed wins. Tsunami. Bronson Reed goes on to wrestle Jey Uso. He wins the Intercontinental Championship, and Bronson Reed is the real monster on Monday night. So like I said in the beginning, he might not have won the battle. Bronson Reed is certainly going to win the war. I thought this was a really fun match and a great feud for Bronson Reed until Rollins got back. Monday Night Raw was okay. I mean, it wasn't the greatest show. It was a go-home show. Lots of promos, lots of talking points. Still a lot to talk about. Still story developing. But that show tonight was all built around Last Monster Standing, and that in the main event certainly delivered for Monday Night Raw. Thank you guys very much, man. We are going to get into your super chats in just a little bit. Follow me on social media. At JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. We are officially over 162,000 subscribers, man. We're trucking along to 200. Thank you guys for all the support. Super chats are open. Get them on in. Hit that thumbs up. We are at 800 likes. I'd love if we can get another 200. If you guys are in the chat and have not hit the thumbs up, we still got 2,200 in here, man. If you guys are in the chat and have not hit the thumbs up, please do so. It helps me out tremendously. It really does. Go check out all the other content on the channel. There was plenty of it last week. More coming this week. Tomorrow, we'll be live with NXT. NXT on the CW debut. I will be live covering it. Wednesday, Dynamite. I think Thursday afternoon we'll do a live off the script on Thursday afternoon. That's what I'm thinking. Kind of taking the place of TNT, right? To get you guys all kind of wrapped up with your pro wrestling news this week. Yeah, we'll go over that. I think that's the plan. Like I said, follow the socials for all the latest on what's going on. Tonight's show is sponsored by my great friends over at Blue Chew. BlueChew.com. You guys are going to use that promo code JD at checkout. All you guys got to do is pay the $5 shipping and handling, and you are on your way to getting a free sample of Blue Chew. What is Blue Chew? Blue Chew is a unique online service that provides the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, but it comes at a fraction of the cost, and it comes in a chewable tablet. Process is very simple. You're going to sign up at BlueChew.com. You're going to consult with one of their online medical providers, and once you are approved, you're going to receive your prescription within days, no questions asked. And the best part is it's all done online. No visits to the doctors. No awkward conversations with people you don't know. No waiting in line at the pharmacy. Everything is done online and shipped directly to you, made here in the USA in a very discreet package. So if you guys want to make a great first impression, make sure you guys go out and get Blue Chew, man. There is nothing better than a great first impression. Not only a first impression, but a lasting impression. So sign up at BlueChew.com. Code JD at checkout for your first month free. All you guys have to do is pay the $5 shipping and handling. Good deal. Let's get into your super chats. I want to see you guys sound off tonight. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Demeter, sorry, JD. My name is pronounced Dematar. Dematar. I'll remember that. $7.99. JD, sing this tune. Oh, way ho, Allah ho, Allah ho. Oh, way ho, Allah ho, Allah ho. I know your mo, ye your mo. I know your mo, ye your mo. Oh, wah-ho. Okay. Oh, wah-ho. Michelle with a $2 super chat. Drew Punk segment was fire. They need to main event on Saturday. Hopefully they do. Trey Lindsay with a 5 months in the venue. Thank you, Trey. 5 months in this fine establishment. Cheers to the best in the IWC, bar none. Also, Gunther and Breaker, inject this shit into my veins. Yes. Thank you, Trey Lindsay. You know, today was National Podcast Day. I didn't even know there was such a thing. If you guys want to go and tweet that off the script, is your favorite podcast? I know Fightful had a thread. Who's your favorite pro wrestling podcast, man? Why don't you go blow their tweet up and just everybody just mention at JD from NY206. Travis Drum with a $10 super chat. Tonight was my 10-year-old nephew's first live show, and he had an absolute blast. Cheers to the GOAT of the IWC. Happy to hear that, Travis. Monday Night Raw certainly becoming a good time, man. Tommy Brannigan with a 32 months. Hey, JDOTS family, hope you all have a great weekend. Looking forward to Bad Blood OTS for life. Thank you, Tommy. As always, brother. Indus Share with a $5 super chat. Can we put the Wyatt Sicks picture on milk cartons yet? Are we already claiming they're buried? I don't know. William with a $5 super chat. When the War Raiders return, hopefully they dump the terrible names of Eric and Ivar and go back to using Hanson and Rowe. Listen, man, beggars can't be choosers. If they want to keep Eric and Ivar but call themselves the War Raiders, I'll take it. Tony Brown with a 28 months. Ain't none greater than JD. I'm a Vietnam Army veteran, trust me. I know also I love to use Liv's wrestling tights to make my tea. Oh, my goodness. Tony Brown. We all love some Liv Morgan, brother. We're right there with you, man. David, once again, brother, thank you for the 100 in Super Chat earlier in the show. David walks in like a boss, drops 100, and orders everybody a shot of Gentleman Jack. Scripps with a $5 Super Chat. Congratulations are in order for the Atlanta Braves making the postseason. A special shout out for today's birthday boy, Swerve Strickland. Happy birthday to Swerve. And does the wild card games count as the playoffs? I don't really, an old schooler like me doesn't really count them as the playoffs, man. When we get to the NLDS, to me, that's the playoffs. It's wild card shit. I don't like it. But listen, last year the Braves had 7 days off before they played a game. Now they're going from Atlanta to San Diego overnight to go play tomorrow. We'll see. I don't give them a fighting chance at all against the Padres. Riddick with 47 months. Oh, my goodness. This guy's 1 month away from that Mustang emote. Damn, man. It's amazing how the channel has grown since the early days. Love to see it. Thank you, bro. When I say we look better than anybody, I mean it. That's just not me being cocky, man. Nobody looks like us. Fixes a bind with 23 months. Good to see Rollins back. Hopefully a more serious and focused Seth Rollins. Yes, I agree. Ben Callanan, 6 months. 6 months with the best in wrestling. I can't wait for Bad Blood with Drew and my guy Punk going to steal the show. OTS for life. I can't wait, man. That Hell in a Cell match is going to be a banger. My guy Bastardo with a $5 super chat. JD, baby. Me and my big buddy Jim are there for you if you ever need backup when Dax finally answers you. Hope you're doing all right, brother. I'm doing all right, man. Shout out to Dax and his family, man. Shout out to Cash as well. They're dealing with the ramifications of Hurricane Helene, and it's a bad situation down there, man. All my thoughts and prayers, love, and anything positive, man, their way. They're not doing good right now. No electricity, scarce on water and food. I mean, it's just a terrible, terrible situation, man. Wallach Wall with a 199. Bronson Reed, Jey Uso is perfect storytelling. OTS. Thank you, brother. Scripps with a 5. JD, don't worry about Jelly Nutella. The only reason he's mad at you is because saying your name makes him somewhat relevant. Scripps, you're not that far off from that, brother. Yuri Lover with a 5. I'm a little bit surprised CM Punk told Drew that at Bad Blood, he'll become a monster to fight the monsters of the world. Will he wear the ROH attire? I don't know. I hope whatever they do make it special. Joseph Taylor with a $3 super chat. JD, did you see Dynamite is on at 9 p.m. next Tuesday? How's that right? They're on at 9 p.m. because they don't want to go directly head-to-head with NXT. Well, they're really taking this one to heart, huh? Okay. I will not be double reviewing the show, by the way. I will be reviewing one show one night and then reviewing the next show, the other show, the next afternoon. I'm not covering both shows in the same night. Not doing it. Comic Things, 199. JD, WWE just filed for trademark of yes, yes, yes. Did they really? Man, both companies are getting really, really petty, huh? Really petty. Apex Calibre with a 199. I can see Braun winning the Rumble and beating Gunther. Braun Breaker is certainly a favorite to win the Royal Rumble. We may be looking at the WrestleMania match for sure. The Arrow Stream with a $2 super chat. Braun Breaker wins the 2025 Royal Rumble. Let's go. Yeah. I mean, he's my early favorite now. Apex also says with a 199. Swerve is Kofi turns heel and Xavier is the underdog. Could potentially be the way, brother. Mendelf's Isma with 28 month. He says, hi, Mendelf's. How you doing, brother? Apex with the 199. How would Punk versus Seth play out now a year later? I don't know. I don't really know. But that is going to be your WrestleMania match for sure. Fallen Exposure with the $2 super chat. 7 minutes. It felt like at least 14 live. I'm assuming you're talking about Bird Girl and Zoe Stark. Yeah, I feel sorry for you guys. Nisha, 1994 with a 499. Can we get NXT Queen of Spades Shayna Baszler back, please? I wish. She was a fucking beast. Pure Fusion Collective is not it. We need another strong female heel on Raw. I miss NXT Shayna, man. She was so good. Arrow Stream with a $5 super chat. Do you think Pierce's social media statement will lead to a traditional Survivor Series match? He stated chaos makes Raw a must-watch versus SmackDown. I could see it. I could see it. Alexandru with a super chat. He says, I think this should be a triple threat on Wednesdays. Ross, JD, and Jesse, all three of you having fun while reviewing AEW Dynamite. If Ross wanted to be the third man on Wednesdays, I would be happy to have him. I don't know if he wants to make that type of commitment. We probably outdraw everybody else. Well, I mean, we already outdraw everybody in the community anyway, but I mean, we just blow everybody out of the water if that's the case. We already have the best post show on Wednesdays. Adding Ross to it would just make... That would be like... that would just be the cherry on top of the sundae, honestly. Learning Tree, Jericho, 8131. $10 super chat. Strowman getting intellectually schooled by Jackie seems like a good opportunity to bring up the Strowman is stupid. I forgot about that one. Jericho, thank you, brother. Abyss with a 199. You can now give Dirty Dom a Dirty Sanchez. I don't want to know any of your business in the bathroom, okay? Mason the Legend with a 999. I'm sure it will be a good show next week, but why are we doing all the titles next Monday? I would have Finn vs. Priest next Monday and put the world title on Bad Blood. Let's wait to see it play out, man. I'm sure Triple H has got something up his sleeve. Francis Loop with a $5 super chat. How about a Battle of Brawns? Triple threat match for the number one contender for the IC title. Braun Strowman versus Braun Breaker versus Bronson Reed. No. JD25 with a $4.99. The last two PLEs have had 5 matches each. Triple H likes something about these 5-match cards lately. Seems like he's thinking quality over quantity. I don't think anybody could give it a better explanation than I did. Noah Tacone with a 26 months. Have not watched live in probably a year. Always watch later in the week. Cheers. As long as you watch, brother, I don't care where you're coming from, man, as long as you are watching. Arrow Stream with a 199. Sammy segment was written by Bruce Pritchard. I won't be surprised. Samurai Sam with the $2 super chat. Triple H is allergic to more than 5 matches, apparently. Tribal Chief with the 2. Braves made it. OTS for life, pal. Love your show, JD. Thank you, brother. Yeah, we made it for now. This team is not making it past the wild card, bro. They're not. After that Mets game, after that first Mets game, bro, they ain't going nowhere. They deserve to lose the second game after losing that first one. Gold Standard with a $5 super chat. WWE under Triple H has been great. Way better than the overpriced indie company, AEW, which does some good things like MJF, but AEW is still too indie. Yeah, they got some problems. They got some problems. There's no long-term vision there. It's really just week to week. Francis Loop with a 5. Did you know there is a women's speed division? I found Candice LeRae over there. I just realized that Candice was off TV and I did not even notice. Bro, I haven't watched one speed show on X since it debuted. And I'm not going to start now. Gold Standard with a $5 super chat. Hey, JD, you and the Solid Monster give the best analysis of pro wrestling in this space. You guys have great chemistry and are an entertaining show. Thank you, Gold Standard. Jason's great. That's why I wanted him on TNT. Poppy Sensei with 11 months. Sorry, I don't super chat regularly, JD. Married, 4 daughters, working an evening job. I don't have a lot of extra cash, but I'm always here watching. Brother, you're in the chat. You're 11 months in the venue, brother. That's all that matters to me. Thank you. Do your thing. I ain't going nowhere. JD25 with a $4.99. I enjoyed the live stream yesterday where you, Jesse, and Ross talked about Vince McMahon's Netflix documentary. That was a really great discussion. Thank you, JD. JD25. M. James with a $5 super chat. That number one guy I want back in WWE is Malachi. The fact he hasn't even main evented a pay-per-view for the world title is nuts. He should take the belt off Bryan, not Moxley. And well, looks like it's going to be Jon Moxley, and I'm not all that excited about it, but I'm going to give it a chance because I do think Shane McMahon's coming on in. Sorry, JD, just keep calling me Demeter. It's all G with a 99 cent. I'm going to call you Demeter. And you're going to like it, Demeter. Thank you, brother. Gold Standard with a 5. I'm not a big AEW fan, but I respect how JD Jesse reviewed Dynamite, the show down the middle, and call out the good and the bad of Dynamite. I call out the good and bad down the middle of everything I do. It's the fucking weirdos and the sickos and the bizarre people that just can't grasp criticism of their favorite things. I don't know. Demeter Bullion, oh way ho, Allaho, oh way ho, with a 99 cent. Thank you, Demeter. Don Parker with a $5 super chat. Excellent review show tonight, JD. Much appreciation to you, Jesse, and Ross for last night's Mr. McMahon documentary discussion. OTS for life. It was a good stream last night, Don Parker. I appreciate you, man. Thank you very much. And BC24 with a $4.99. Yo, just passed the fat kidney stone. In mad pain. Love you, though, bro. Great show tonight. Bro, I'm in pain just because you mentioned that. I am sorry. That sounds fucking awful. Anyway, guys, I'm about to get out of here. I am exhausted. I am running on empty, man. I did House of Glory yesterday. Full day of House of Glory. Gave Jesse almost 4 hours of my time last night. I didn't get any sleep. I didn't get any sleep today because I had to watch 2 baseball games and have a stroke in the process. Had to watch Raw, had to go live, and I'm tired. I'm tired, man. And what we are doing now is we're going to hop in the Mustang. I can't wait to get the outro, man. This outro looks fucking sick, man. It's going to add so much versatility to the streams, man. It's going to really be a banger. But I appreciate you guys, man. We're going to hop in the Mustang. We're going to get the hell out of here. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Make sure you guys go check out all the other content on the channel. Go click that link that I pinned at the top of the live stream chat. Jesse, myself, and Kicking It with Ross cover the Vince McMahon documentary last night on Jesse's channel. Some great discussion. Some really fun discussion on there. Go check it out. Next time you see me live will be tomorrow. NXT, CW Network, Julia, Roxanne, Trick, and Ethan Page. CM Punk makes an appearance in Chicago. We're going to have a good time tomorrow night, and I hope you guys show up big for the debut on CW, because I'm going to be bringing my best, man. I'm going into this with an open mind, and we'll see if we can get back into covering some NXT. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Thank you for 162,000 subscribers. If you guys are listening on Spotify and iTunes, man, please leave me a rating and a comment. Helps me out tremendously. And as always, hit that thumbs up. We got 875 likes. I know we'll get to 1,000, but if you guys are still in the chat right now, I see it right on the dash here in the dark horse. Hit that thumbs up, man. Helps me out tremendously. Tomorrow, OTS is NXT on CW right here on Off the Script. I'll see you guys later.